I'm Jared Poland, and I like movies.
I'm Todd Wolf, and I make movies. And this is FroKnowsMovies.
Oh, yeah! Welcome back to FroKnowsMovies. I'm Jared, this is Todd, and do I do me first or do I do you first?
I always do me first.
I know you probably do.
I always do me first.
I think it sounds better with I'm Jared, this is Todd, because I'm like the star.
But I like to talk.
Well, you talk every once in a while. You have a good week?
Oh, hectic. Hectic, but good.
Yeah, hectic but good. Let me ask you something. So we saw a bunch of movies. We've got a lot of things to talk about this week.
Yes, sir.
You know what upsets me? I'll say it. You know what pisses me off?
Leaving the toilet seat up?
No, I live by myself.
Okay.
I can leave all the toilet seats up as I want. No, movie times. If you tell me the movie's going to start at 8, I want the movie to start at 8, not 8:30.
I realized this when we were in the theater. I'm looking at my watch, and it's like quarter after, and it's still trailers playing. And I was like, I got things to do.
So here's my thing. I am advocating for a new thing. I think it's time that we put our foot down, that in the newspaper or on Mr. Movie Phone, because nobody uses the newspaper or Mr. Movie Phone, but on the internet, they list for us the time that the movie starts actually and the time that the trailers, or they list the start time followed by it's going to be 20 minutes of trailers. Now, of course, they're going to lose. I mean, they don't want to do that because of money.
No. They definitely paid to put their trailer at the head of it. So it's annoying. It's really annoying to me, but
that's the thing. If they say it starts at 8 and it's a first-run movie, then you need to get there before at like 7:30 to get your good spot, because I'm blind. I can't sit too far away. But then when you go and see a movie that doesn't do too well, or it's been out for a week or two, then you can go sit wherever you want, which is fine. So I think we're good. Intro's good. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you saw some good movies and watched some of the at-home flicks that we talked about. But I think it's now time for Coming Soon.
yes.
This is coming soon. It's coming soon.
So the first Coming Soon movie that we're going to talk about this week, as you noticed last week we did 3, we're doing 3 again because we want to keep them tight, concise, and get you guys as much information out there about as many movies as possible. And this week we've got, what's it called? It's called Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Or if you're in South Philly, it's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Planet. You know what?
I'm going to go see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
But Mark Wahlberg is not in it. I know he's from Boston,
yeah,
but he's not in this one.
No.
By the way, did you like the ones about Boston, the Mark Wahlberg one that they did?
Which one?
Planet of the Apes? The reboot?
No.
I loved it. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I like it. Anyway, this is about the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes was like a reboot of the whole thing. These guys wrote this movie and basically sent it over to Fox, and they're like, "Whoa, we're going to fund this." Yeah. It cost $93 million to make, and it did almost $500 million. I loved it.
It was great.
And I am really looking forward to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
So
Franco was all up in that one, as well as Tyler Labine.
Oh, he's in that? Oh, is he one of the guys working in the cage?
He's the guy with he's got blood hanging out. He's like the first guy to get infected sneezing.
Oh, all right. So
yeah.
In this new one, so basically the apes have started to procreate. They started to have families. It's 4 years, I believe 4 years past.
Okay.
The last one, I think.
I think you're right.
If I'm basing it off of the trailer. And they build the suspense so well, because now it's like there's a virus that happened and the humans must have been wiped out to some extent. They had to fight off that, and then they fought each other. And now they have to face the apes.
They got to rebuild.
Or attempt to rebuild. Because we know from the original Planet of the Apes what happens.
Doesn't go so well.
It doesn't go so well. But here in this one, we're at the point where they have to decide. Some of them want to try and fight and have a war with them. And then there's others that think that we could live together. But that's what the movie leaves you with, is thinking that they could live together. But probably that's not going to be the case.
I personally think Franco's going to make an appearance.
You think Franco's going to be in this one as well?
Even though you don't see him in the trailer, he's not listed on IMDb, I think it would be...
It would be bad for them to just let him go.
He's got to show up at some point, maybe at the end.
I have to say, I haven't been as excited to see a movie in a long time as I am to see this. Because when I went and saw the first one, it was the surprise movie of that year. Nobody expected that movie to be as good. That was Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Nobody expected that to be so good, and I'm expecting Dawn of the Planet of the Apes to be top-notch and to be another great movie in this line.
I agree. I hope Draco Malfoy comes back in this one.
Did he get? He was in the cages.
Yeah, you forgot about him.
No, I forgot. Did he die in that movie?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. So, are you guys going to see this movie come up July 11th? This is one movie that I'm really looking forward to. What are your thoughts on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
Dawn. The next coming soon is Boyhood, which I'm still in. I'm still waiting to graduate to manhood. But this is with Ethan Hawke.
Patricia Arquette, written by Richard Linklater.
Now, what impresses me the most about this, and I read about this a couple years ago, that this was ongoing, is that they've been filming this movie for 12 years as this kid's been growing, and just what needs to be done from the production side to pull off something like this absolutely fascinates me. I'd be into watching a movie about the making of this movie.
And I certainly hope they did do something like that. Now, I didn't even know about this movie until I started searching today for... We want to do more of the indie films.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of the things that, not just your big blockbuster hits, because the indie films seem to just be better. So when I saw this trailer, and they're like, this was filmed over a 12-year period, I went and looked it up to make sure that that wasn't just a thing they said.
Sure.
And yes, they started in 2002 filming this when the kid was 6, taking him all the way through his till he's 18. He's making out with girls. They're going bowling. Everybody gets older. It's unbelievable. It's never been done, they said, in cinematic history.
That's amazing.
Did you hear that?
Amazing. I have heard that. And as the producer in me, automatically gets nervous about, like, what if one of the actors has a freak accident or somebody passes, it's such a gamble, and then at the same time it's such a huge payoff.
Absolutely.
And I'm genuinely looking forward to this from so many different angles. I can't wait.
It's only a couple of weeks away, I believe.
I think so.
I forget what date it said, but it's a 2-hour and 45-minute movie. Maybe they'll release it at home. I mean, maybe this could be something like that. How do you fund a project like this?
I'm really curious about that. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper on that, but it could be one of those things that, they shot the first part with a little bit of money. Because
and it just kept building.
If you go into it knowing you're shooting a 2-hour movie, or a 3-hour movie almost, and you're shooting once a year, and you're going to do it for 12 years, you break it up,
Sure.
I mean, what is that, 12? I mean, you got 5. You're basically shooting every year about 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I believe what she said, because I was reading an article, and it said that they're basically making a short film, which is what, 30 minutes or less is a short film?
Less than 88 minutes is a short film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 88 minutes is a feature film. But like I said, it breaks down to, I think, about 15 minutes per year, which is about 15 pages of script. And you could probably shoot that 5 days if you really have a lot of luxury, or you could shoot 3 days. So, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time each year. But to me, I would be most nervous about continuity issues with people just not being available to continue what you're doing. And did they have long-term agreements going into this? The backstory fascinates me, and maybe more than the movie itself.
All right, so this is a very interesting movie. I definitely think that you should check out or be ready to see Boyhood when it comes out in a couple of weeks, because I know I'm interested, and Todd's probably going to buy the Blu-ray with the behind-the-scenes footage.
Oh, I got to see all that.
So next up and coming soon, what, Todd? What was that all about? Oh, you were surprised?
Yeah.
In coming soon?
You were big.
I was big. Is Begin Again. Now, I have a place in my heart for music movies. You were in the music industry.
I was.
I've toured with bands and been around a lot of the stuff that happens there, so I love music-type movies. Now, looking at this trailer the first time, we've got Keira Knightley, Adam Levine.
The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. It's directed by the same person who did another music movie, which is Once. So what'd you think about the trailer right off the bat?
Looks very interesting. I'm naturally going to be very picky when it comes to interpreting the music business from the inside, because it's usually really glossy, and having worked at record labels in my earlier days.
Can we say where you worked?
I worked at Rough House, was one place.
All rap. You were like the only white guy, except for the CEO.
No, it was all white.
It was all white Jewish
yeah,
guys?
it's all
And
white.
you?
All white dudes run rap. But with that being said, that's the only thing I'm a little anxious about. But I love the idea of a guy getting put out on his ass and finding inspiration in somebody new. And I think creative types like yourself and myself really kind of enjoy watching those stories.
I think what I'm drawn to is the fact that he lost his job, but then he's at the bar getting drunk, and he hears this beautiful angel in Keira Knightley, who has one of the most beautiful smiles ever. I'm just so drawn to her. I would be her Chad Kroger.
Easy, we're an R.
We're an R. I would be her Chad Kroger. The only thing is, though, can we buy Adam Levine in a movie? Can we buy him? Is this his first feature film,
Well,
I think?
See, I would say, because he's a musician, he gets more of a pass. If he was being a NBA star in this movie,
Right.
I'd be like, but he's already a musician. He's already being himself.
But the other question is, did they go to Justin Timberlake first? Because I like Justin Timberlake in movies, and he would be a good guy to play this role. I wonder if they did that.
I like him as well. I honestly, I'm pretty good with Adam Levine and his beard. I mean, you guys have similar thick beards at this point.
Yeah, I'm going for it, man.
I like it. I
So,
like it.
so here's the thing with this movie. I could take it or leave it when it comes to playing in the theater, but I think it interested me enough in the preview that I would want to go see this with the same girl that I go see everything with right now, who will probably hate it because she seems to hate everything, including me, and it is what it is.
I think this is going to be in my home flick category. It seems like a personal movie, like a real kind of like intimate movie, and I'd like to really just sit down and kind of watch it at home.
Yeah, so last thing, I think that this is the type of the movie going into the future that they should probably do the release at home for like $9.99 the day of it's out in the theater, and it may just do better. I'm not doing $49.99.
$24.99.
No, I'm not doing that at all. No, $24.99. $9.99.
It'll never happen then.
All right, so check out this movie, see if it's for you, Begin Again, and now, Todd, we are moving on to... I can see the board. I got a board over here now, and I'm blind.
It's Home Flicks.
It's Home Flicks.
Do you want to begin again on Begin Again since you've messed that up?
No.
Home Flicks.
Home flicks, home flicks, home flicks, home flicks, home flicks, home flicks, home flicks.
Home Flick. Yes, the Home Flick where you get to sit at home and flick your pick. You can watch whatever you want. Home Flick, right?
You don't want to know what I watch at home.
I don't want to know, but what did we watch this weekend or this week?
Safety Not Guarenteed. And it is a wonderful film.
Safety Not Guaranteed is tremendous.
Yes.
Let me just read you, I want to read you the synopsis here because this is great.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it off this paper right here that's highlighted in 18 size type because I don't have my glasses on. You ready? Mm-hmm. 3 magazine employees head out on an assignment to interview a guy who placed a classified ad seeking a companion for time travel. And here's what the ad said. Wanted. Somebody to go back in time with me. This is not a joke. You'll get paid after we get back. Must bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed. I have only done this once before.
Love it.
Now, this movie had a budget of $750,000. It won a bunch of awards at a bunch of the different showings.
It was great.
And what'd you think?
I love it. Aubrey Plaza is in it. She's from Parks and Recreation. She's the very emo chick on Parks and Rec. Mark Duplass is in it. He's from the League and a couple other things. Really solid. The movie, I don't know if you know this, the movie is actually based on a real ad that was in a magazine, but the staff put it in there as like a joke.
As a joke.
As a
See what
joke,
happened?
but it was just randomly based on that.
Yeah, so this movie is on Netflix right now. If you have Netflix, look up Safety Not Guaranteed. If you don't have Netflix, sign up for a free month just to watch this movie. And honestly, it's $7.99 for Netflix. Actually, I think they upped it to $8.99 for new customers.
Maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And by the way, we don't have an affiliate link there. Maybe we should get one for you guys to sign up. But we should get one.
Yeah.
But whatever. We're just trying to do you a service here. Safety Not Guaranteed. I was so looking forward to that when I saw the trailer. And I was going to watch. I had this girl, all right, at the time. She just had a baby, by the way, not with me, with somebody else. And we were supposed to watch this movie together, but she never came back over.
Wow.
Yeah, so I ended up watching it myself. I was like, I waited for you to watch Safety Not Guaranteed, but I enjoyed it on my own, and I liked it so much. The story is great. The low budget aspect of it, they shot it digitally. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to make this, but $750,000 budget, not bad at all.
No, not at all. But apparently, date night wasn't guaranteed.
Date
for
night
you.
was not guaranteed.
Now, yeah, 750 is actually for that cast. I mean, it's got a couple names in it. That's a pretty slim budget. So and they pulled off some really nice things in it. And then I think on the backside, I've read somewhere that it made about $4 million.
It did go into the theaters very small, maybe like 6 theaters.
I'm sure it was probably the art house thing and that.
That's
sort
where
of
I
thing.
wanted to see it.
But this is that type of indie movie that has a great story and lives really big on Netflix and on demand. Please, I would tell everybody, do not be afraid of these indie films. They are fantastic, and I'm really glad we're going to focus in on them.
Absolutely. And the ending of this movie just made me smile.
Oh.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, we don't want to say too much, but it was just when it ended, I was like, thank you.
Yeah, it's just one of those thank you and good night.
Exactly.
All right, so that's it. That's Safety Not Guaranteed. Check it out on Netflix. That's our home flick pick of the week. And now it's time to move on to something new that we started last week called The Pitch.
And here's the windup and the pitch. It's out of here.
All right, so the pitch last week, you told me to watch About Time.
I did, About Time.
And you raved about it.
I raved. I liked
You
it.
raved about
And
it.
it's not just because of Rachel McAdams, but I should shut up and let you say what you think. If you like it, please like it, please like it.
I mean,
please like it.
it's there's some pretty people, there's some fun stuff in it, but I loved it.
Yay! I pitched Todd and we win!
Yeah, no.
You loved it?
It was wonderful.
I'm so happy!
It was wonderful. It was a great mix of heart and soul and a little bit of like sci-fi, a little bit of that. Great comedy, great acting, just really a beautiful movie. Cinematography was great. There was nothing in that movie that took me out for a second. And that movie was 2 hours plus.
Really?
And by the time it was over, I was like, oh, well, that was enjoyable.
I'm so glad that you liked it.
And you know what? I feel stupid that I didn't watch it earlier. I genuinely really, really like that movie. And if we've got to do a scale, I'd give that movie a 9. I would absolutely give it a 9. I think it's a great recommendation. I would recommend everybody out there take Jared's recommendation for About Time. And I loved it.
So if I have to give it a rating, I'm going to give it...
An 11.
No. I'm going to give it a 9,001. Just so that it's a point out of my scale of 1,000.
Not The Price is Right.
I know, but $1 more. So honestly, I'm glad that you liked it. The story around it is tremendous. The family aspect of it, the sci-fi aspect, like you said, the love story.
And it's a little bit rom-com for you.
A little bit rom-com.
A little bit.
And honestly, it tugged at my heart a little bit because you're like, oh my God, he's going to lose the girl. And this is without me saying anything.
I mean, there are so many angles to it when it comes to like how time passes and how your relationships change with everybody in your life, whether it's friends, family, significant others.
Wow, yeah.
And we all think about the times that we had with people that are no longer with us,
Sure.
or that we don't see anymore. And at the end of that movie, I can tell you, I was literally just sitting there thinking of like my grandmother.
Yeah.
Or like it felt good. It was one of those things that like it really made me walk away and say, live every day like it's your last day.
Which never happens anyway, and we can all attest to that.
I forgot the next day and I was bitching about everything. But for at least 20 minutes after the movie, it was zen.
All right, so that's About Time. That was my pitch. Now it's
Yeah.
your turn to pitch me and the people at home.
Well, my pitch is Bongwater.
You're going to really make me do this movie?
Bongwater came out 97-ish, I'm going to say. And it came out around the same time as Half-Baked.
Do I need to be high when I'm watching
No,
this movie?
absolutely not. No, I mean, you probably know people get high, and you know people like this. Anyways, it came out around the same time as Half Baked, and Half Baked was a pretty big movie, so it kind of got like
Clumped in there
and just overlooked. I literally was in a Suncoast video, and this was, I don't know how long ago.
Suncoast gave the popcorn when you left, right?
I think so, yeah. And the guy was like, "You see this movie? You should check this movie out." So I was like, all right, I'll buy it. Bought it, took it home, loved it. So it's got Luke Wilson, Jack Black, Brittany Murphy's in it.
Before she died.
So Jack Black, Brittany Murphy, Luke Wilson, Andy Dick, Jamie Kennedy is in it.
Really?
And I didn't realize Jamie Kennedy was in it until like my fourth viewing, because he looks so different.
So you really like this movie?
I really like this movie. It's basically a drug dealer, stoner, kind of like slacker, just kind of getting by. But he's an artist, and he's just trying to figure life out. It's kind of like, a 20-something coming of age, but he's a pot dealer, but he's got a really weird, eclectic group of friends. And it was when all these stars some of them really were just coming up. Love it a lot. It's it's a coming of age film, and there's a little bit of rom-com in it, a little bit of rom-com.
All right, well, you know me with rom-com. So this is another movie that's on Netflix. I have not seen this movie. Todd recommended this to me, honestly, last year or something.
Well, you recommended it about time, like a while ago. But keep in mind, Bongwater, after I saw it, I bought it for like Christmas presents for my friends, for my brother. So I like it.
All right, so my prejudgment of this movie is that I hope I can get through it this time, because I stopped 15 or 20 minutes in the last time, and I sat there and I'm like, I don't know what. So I'm going to force myself to watch it for you guys at home, and that is going to be the pitch of the week, Bongwater. And now let's move into what we saw in theaters now. So last week we ended the show where we were talking about The Edge of Tomorrow, featuring Tom Cruise and
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, not to be confused with Bongwater. Who should we throw under the bus first for this one, for review? How about we say it at the same time? Liked it or didn't liked it?
I mean, that's black and white, and I think there's some gray area.
Or do you want to do thumbs up or thumbs down at the same time?
Well, see, this is what here's the choices we have: thumbs up, thumbs down, or sideways.
All right.
I do sideways.
All right,
Ready?
do you not want to? Okay, we want to do it at the camera?
Count of three. 1, 2, 3.
I loved it.
Did ya? Good.
I was so, like, everybody's been ripping on Tom Cruise for many reasons, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But there's something about his movies that he does really well. I sat there during this movie, most of the time having to pee again, but still, I left that movie sitting there going, that was one of the best action films that I have seen.
It was jam-packed. I mean, it was nonstop. It was nonstop.
Exactly. It kept me on the edge of my seat, even though I still had to pee, and I didn't know where it was going. It kept me guessing until the last scene. I kind of thought I knew what was going to happen at the last scene, but it went for that whole entire movie, keeping my interest. It was funny at times.
Definitely.
It was smart. It was action-packed, and I really felt like the characters developed such a relationship through the movie. It's so unique.
I loved Bill Paxton in it, the drill sergeant. That's
Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton, yes.
I had no idea.
Yes, that's Chet from Weird Science.
You stewed, buttwad.
I love that man.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that man. I initially went into it kind of knowing a little bit about it, and then I kept thinking Groundhog Day, Groundhog Day, Groundhog Day, the whole, like...
It has that feel.
For the first 20 minutes, maybe, and then I just got sucked in. And then I was like, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. And once I broke through that and stopped thinking about it,
Yeah.
It definitely became a lot more enjoyable.
So give me the half. Why the half?
I really like it. I really like it. The only thing that it's not really a bad thing. It's just kind of colored by the numbers. It's as a broad movie audience, it's going to give people probably going to give almost everybody exactly what they want in a nice, neat, tidy bow. It's a nice, well-rounded movie.
So here's the thing with this movie. They spent $178 million to make this movie.
It's all special effects.
The special effects were tremendous.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The ships, because basically the premise of the movie is that we've been invaded by, I guess, some kind of thing, and now this army has to go take care of it, and the warships and the whole.
They had their little robot suits.
Right, the exoskeletons. It seemed very believable for what it was. Now. The question is, or not the question is, it only did $28 million opening weekend in the U.S.
I think he's having a little bit of residual hesitation from his other movies. I think he's had a couple okay movies, and people are probably like, I'll wait to see it at home. I mean, that's really a thing now. People are like, I'll just wait till it comes in on demand. It's a really good movie. It was packed when I saw it.
Really?
And it was I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I'm glad I went to see it.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see that I really enjoyed it. And if I was giving this one a number, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a 9.32754.
Wow.
I thought it ranked up there. It was really enjoyable. I left there thinking that was a very good film.
I'm going to give it an 8.5, and by no stretch of the imagination is that a bad score. I thought it was really, really good. It's a solid summer blockbuster, without a doubt. You know what's really funny, though? As I'm walking out of the theater, I overheard somebody say, good for Tom Cruise. It gives me a lot of hope, because he had a couple bad movies. Good for him that he came back. Now maybe Will Smith can do it.
Oh, snap.
And I was like, wow.
Well, here it's done well overseas. It's done over 112 million overseas. So hopefully they do well with it and in DVD. I saw it in IMAX 3D.
How'd you like that?
I enjoyed watching it without my glasses before. I like the previews that weren't in 3D because it's so much brighter and vibrant.
So you like the IMAX, but not the 3D.
I want IMAX like the Tuttleman Omniverse Theater at the Franklin Institute, one of the first IMAX theaters film back in the day.
Philly represent.
My whole thing with it is as soon as you put on the glasses, it gets duller and it takes away from the whole crisp and clearness of the movie. So give me IMAX because I loved how big I like big things.
Yeah.
Bigger is better in this case.
Yep.
But when I put the glasses on and it made it dull, I don't like that. I love the DLP projections.
Well, you don't like filters on your lenses, so
I don't like filters on my lenses.
And you never wear your glasses hardly, so.
So can we move into the next movie because I saw 2.
Oh yeah, you did see 2. Yeah, so I mean, I think we would tell everybody, go see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely go see it.
If you were thinking, should I see this while it's in the movies? I actually do. I think that you should take the time and go see it in a big theater. It doesn't need to be 3D, but see it in the biggest theater possible because the 3D was really non-existent in this movie.
Great popcorn movie, action, great summer movie.
All right, so 2 movies. I went and saw another one because I just felt the need to go see The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Font.
The Fault, yeah, well, that is true. But you got to remember that this is a movie for tweens. It's written for not little girls.
Why is it for tweens?
Because not many. I went with a girl. The same girl that hates every movie we go to.
And you're dating a tween?
No, I'm not dating a tween. But the funny thing was I was sitting next to under a tween. I don't even think she was 12 yet.
Okay.
So she was like 8. And I leaned over. Her mom was there too.
That's creepy.
I know. It wasn't trying to be
really creepy.
No, I said. No.
So I leaned over to this 8-year-old.
I leaned over to this 8-year-old. Just go with it, all right? Just go with it.
And her mother dialed 911.
And I said, does this movie have vampires in it? And she's like, no. Well, because every tween movie has something to do with vampires.
You were super creepy.
I wasn't trying to be creepy.
Too late.
My hair was down.
Child services.
All right. So I saw The Fault in Our Stars. Again, this movie was written, it was a book. They sold 10.4 million copies of this book. This movie only cost $12 million to make, and it pulled in $48 million on opening weekend. 90% of the people that went to see it were women. Here's my thinking. Here are my thoughts on this movie. It was very emotional. Now, my mother died of cancer. People know this that follow my other stuff, but you know, when you have a connection like that, there's certain things in the movie that maybe didn't affect other people, but brought back memories to me that made me well up.
Well, I think almost everybody probably knows somebody who's gone through that. It's such a widespread disease, even though it's very much a lot of people survive it. Like we all know somebody. I had an aunt that passed away from it, so it's very easy to automatically be connected with that. And on the flip side, after seeing this trailer and us talking about it, there's a TV show now that's coming out about some young lady that contracted cancer. Don't hold me to the title, but it's interesting to me that these films are and these programs are kind of coming about to kind of address these things and the drama and all the the ups and downs that kind of go with that stuff. So I applaud the film. You saw it.
So let me finish talking about it.
Please do.
I'll keep talking about it. That girl, I don't remember her name, the lead actress.
Yes.
She was in the movie Divergent, which had a tremendous opening.
Okay.
This movie had a tremendous opening. You see some side boob at a point because they're actually she's having sex.
Nice.
You don't actually see the sex happening because it is a tween movie, but they like that stuff.
Yeah, side boob is great. Sometimes that's more enjoyable.
Yeah, but she's playing a high school girl, 17 though. But anyway, there's still some side boob, and there is one fuck. In a PG movie.
They drop an F-bomb.
She drops an F-bomb.
Well, I think you can get away with one.
One.
And it depends on the context.
It was right. It was a context. It was about being sick and things like that.
It didn't happen while we were seeing side boob that she just yelled that out.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
So really, what I think is it's being an adult seeing this movie, it didn't hit as hard, but I think for the younger people, it played enough in that sandbox of, something happens. I mean, it's a very twisty movie. I won't tell you what happens in it. Of course, it's going to be sad, and everybody knows it's going to be sad, especially if they already read the book. So it kind of reminds you of A Walk to Remember, but it was still a little different. It plays in that field. It's a love story, how the two meet, what happens to them, where they go, the things they do. I hated one of the characters tremendously in the movie.
As an actor or just as the character?
The character, the way that it was. I didn't think it was necessary in the movie at all.
All right.
I think it was just like, why? And that's what I just felt about that.
Interesting.
So I think this movie, on a scale of we'll say 1 to 1,000 again, was more in the 7.9.
Okay.
For me.
I find it fascinating, just coming off of what you were talking about with the numbers. And I think recently today, just getting ready for this show, I just glanced at numbers, and that thing's up to like 80-some million, where Tom Cruise in The Edge is like at 20-some million.
Exactly.
And the fact that, like, these are the type of movies that drive studio people nuts because they can't figure that out. I mean, obviously it was a hit book, so I mean, there's a built-in audience.
10.4 million copies, and every tween girl wants to see it.
That's amazing, and bravo.
Absolutely, I love hearing the fact that a movie does 12 million and then makes 80 million in the first couple weeks.
Yeah, it looks really indie to me. You said it was 12 million?
Yeah.
I mean, that's practically an indie movie with some names in it.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, bravo.
So here's the thing. This is one that you could wait and see, but if you're looking for a date night movie and you want to show some emotion as a guy and hopefully get a reach around or something, this may be the movie that you shed a little tear.
Popcorn with a hole in it.
Exactly. I welled up just a little bit. I didn't let it go because I'm more of a I want to cry at home by myself type of guy.
Do you hide the tears
I didn't
with
try
the
to
fro?
hide it. I didn't try to hide it. The fro wasn't up.
I do the look up. I do the look up to try to get the tears back in my eyes.
You're like, go back in my eyes.
I can't go back in my eyes.
And I actually think the girl with me, she's pretty bitchy. She's a tough girl. I think
She'll be glad to hear that.
I think she was getting emotional.
Really?
I think she was getting emotional. So I think we should leave it at that for that one.
I like that one. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. So.
Well, maybe you should go see it with the wife, or you're gonna wait till it comes into the home.
I might wait. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing so many movies now. It's going to put me in the poorhouse.
It's the review preview, a preview of the review. So let's get to the review preview.
Last week we went into talking about a preview of the preview review. What we're going to see next week. Well, we already talked about that last week.
We did talk about it last week.
What did we talk about?
22 Jump Street.
Yeah. What? Hey. So you looking forward to seeing this movie?
I am, and I think probably we can drill right back down to it. The only thing I'm nervous about is them rehashing the same gags over and over. And I'm hoping it's just fresh. But I love the chemistry between those two.
Do you think you will see this one with the wife?
She absolutely refuses to go see that movie. So Jared, will you go to the movies with me?
Who gets to hold the popcorn? You want to both get popcorn?
Yes.
Yay! All right, guys. I think we're going to leave it at that for this week's Fronos Movies. That's right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes because you can listen to all of the audio up there. So you can download the podcast and listen to it in your car. It's definitely enjoyable. You can also subscribe on YouTube so you get notified when the new episodes or the trailer preview reviews and all the stuff that we're going to be working on goes up live. You want to end with anything?
I am Todd Wolf.
Oh, he's Todd Wolf. I'm Jared Polin. Jared Polin, FroKnowsMovies. And I got to think of something to say to roll out to, because I can't say see ya.
End scene.
End scene.
End scene.
You know what, Todd? Leave your legs the way that they are. You don't stop trying to copy off of me.
Stop copying me.
I'm not going to copy you. Which way works best? No, do you ever sit with your legs crossed?
Sometimes, well, you know, if you cross your legs towards me, that means you like me. If you cross them away from me, that means you're not interested.
Do you ever realize there's a Jewish thing, and it runs in my family? We sit actually like this. And that's considered, like, you used to be like, no, that's a little like this. It's not. And they're like, men sit like this. That's not, this is comfortable for me.
Well, you must be a good tucker.
Yeah, well, you know, Tucker, that was a good movie, by the way. I remember that one back in the day. But yeah, it's like, I put my leg like this, or it's funny, I've seen a picture, and an ex-girlfriend of mine, another ex, she said to me.
Number 3.
No, probably
for
4.
Episode 3.
It's
for
probably
episode
4 or
3,
5.
we've talked about, I think, 3 different girls.
3 different girls. Yeah, it's been 3 different girls. But she noticed one day, it was me, my dad, my uncle, and I think we were just all sitting there, all with the same cross leg. It runs in the family. Things run in families, don't they?
I guess, yeah. I'm trying not to add anything because your dad might watch this.
No, you can. He doesn't care.
Well, maybe you guys just have small junk.
Oh, well, we are Jewish.
I mean, it's small junk.
What about they fit in my Sebastian McCall's?
Yeah, I can't do that for too long.